Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode on the Wicked Bitter channel. I am Travis, and today I want to talk a little bit about AEW. I know WWE has been on fire, where it's very hard for me to concentrate on AEW at all after what's been going on in WWE lately. Of course, the whole thing with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and The Rock and Cody Rhodes. But I wanted to take some time to talk about AEW because some things have happened or have been announced and teased in the past week or so, and that being Big Business. Now, Big Business is going to be on the episode of Dynamite, but it's going to be on the March 13th, 2024 episode of Dynamite, which of course is on a Wednesday. It will be stemming from my hometown, Boston, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, I will not be able to go because I now live in North Carolina, so that's a bummer for me. But I'm sure it's going to be a great show. And of course, if you've seen the graphic, and I think I might even include it in the thumbnail, but you might not really see it. Big tease going on here. Boss Town is where it's going to be referred to. Sasha Banks, and of course, she goes by Mercedes Mone outside of WWE. It's been teased, and it's fully expected that she will be debuting at AEW on that show. It's a big signing for AEW. I'm going to refrain from saying it's going to be a game changer because what has really been a game changer so far for AEW when WWE superstars go there or superstars from other wrestlers from other companies, and it's not a knock on those wrestlers. It's not a knock on those superstars. It really isn't. To me, I think it's more so the booking because if you think about it, if you were to put most of the AEW's roster on WWE, think about how different they would be booked. Or you could even flip it. If you put a lot of people on AEW that are from WWE, like you put Roman Reigns in AEW, you put Seth Rollins in AEW, Kevin Owens, do you really think they're going to be booked as good as they might be booked in WWE? I don't think so. The talent is still there, of course, but anyway, that's a different story for a different day. I want to talk about a little bit about, let's say Mone does go there, which I fully expect, as does everybody else, that she will go there. What can she immediately do? I hope. Now, of course, this is going to happen after the Revolution pay-per-view, where Toni Storm will be defending her title against Deonna Purrazzo. That should be a great match. I kind of don't want to see that feud end there, honestly. And I kind of don't want Mercedes Mone to be involved for a title right away, whether it's Toni Storm's or if it's Julia Hart's title. I don't want Mone to be anywhere near those yet. Granted, she's the biggest star in their division, probably. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, a big, well-known, big star. I mean, other than Saraya, but she really hasn't done too much. Mercedes Mone is going to be the name. So I was trying to think of some different rivalries or feuds that she can immediately go into. For me, I think you should start off Mercedes Mone feuding with Saraya, to be honest with you. And that might not be the most attractive look and option, but it makes sense, right? I mean, there's a little bit of they've been teasing some dissension between Saraya and Ruby Soho. I was going to say Riot. Ruby Soho. There's been a little bit of a tease of a little bit of a breakup or something going on there. I could see Soho maybe having a match, or they having a tag team match that episode, and after the match, Saraya gangs up, beats up on her or whatever, and then Mone's song hits, and then and it sets up perfectly because, of course, if you remember, Mercedes Mone was the one that I guess kicked or drop kicked Saraya in the back when they were in WWE, which caused pretty much the end we all thought of Saraya's career. And so you can kind of go with that. They can kind of have that as their feud because you don't want to bring Mone in and her lose her feud right away. She's going to be the top star of that women's division. So I feel like that, to me, is the biggest, most attractive option so far for Mone, is that feud. But of course, I mean, there's other ones that she can have. I mean, we still haven't seen Britt Baker in a while. What about bringing Britt Baker back on the same night and they feud together? Or I mean, or Mone can face. I mean, they have talent in that roster. I mean, they have Statlander, they have Willow, Julia Hart. A lot of people. She's come a long way. People love her. I don't really want her mixing it up with her because you got to keep Julia strong. You don't want her losing to to Monet, and I don't want Monet winning a title right away. I don't want Storm and Monet mixing it up because Storm, even though she's technically a heel, she's still getting cheers. Right now, you want Monet to come out looking the best and people cheering for her no matter what. I could see people booing Saraya in a heel form. If Saraya goes up against Monet, that works. Britt Baker, people love her. I don't see they really booing her that much, but that's another option. I mean, there's some stuff you can do here with Monet. I just don't want her to rush into a title match against Toni Storm or Hart. I mean, you can maybe have Monet versus Sky Blue, like on the way to get to Julia. But we gotta be careful how we book this. And another thing I wanted to touch on is I know Monet is being teased, right? I feel like it's almost too much of a tease where it's so blatantly obvious that she's going to be there that I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan gives the fans an extra bonus of a surprise or something, right? He did mention that it's going to be a night that it's going to be talked about forever, that no one's going to forget. And if you're teasing it that hard, but you're also putting up the graphic and teasing Monet, people are already going into it knowing what to expect kind of thing. And even though this thing that I'm about to say might be something people expect, there might be a lot more people who don't expect it. I say that you also bring in Okada. If you have Okada, he's done with his other duties. And Okada, there was rumors of him choosing between WWE and AEW, right? Like that was the conversation. It's been rumored that he has signed with AEW. I don't know if it's completely official yet, but if it's true and Okada is with AEW, I would like to see him debut that same night. I mean, you don't want to take away the shine from Monet, but if Tony Khan is promoting this to be a night that no one's going to forget and people are going to talk about it forever, it could be just another one of his things where he says he's got a big announcement and it really isn't as big as he's hyped it up. So that's possible. He's hyping up this night to be something insane. But if everybody already expects Monet to be there, then I feel like the element of it being talked about forever kind of goes away a little bit. Could be just my opinion. Could be just me thinking. I originally wanted to say Ospreay as well. I was thinking maybe 3 people in the same night, but I think they mentioned that Ospreay on this past night on Dynamite will be showing up to Revolution to take on Takeshita. Going to be a phenomenal match, I would assume. And this would work out nicely because I feel like you want to keep Ospreay. I feel like he's going to get cheered. You want to keep him as a face, right? A good guy. So I don't see Ospreay being a heel here. So I don't think he's really going to join the Don Callis family. I feel like Don Callis is just kind of talking like that, like he's under the impression that Ospreay is going to be part of the family and everything's all good. But I feel like Ospreay is not going to be. I think Ospreay is going to show that he wants to be on his own and that he's going to get cheered. And it couldn't have come at a better time because I feel like AEW definitely needs some star power here because, I don't know, because you look at their top guys, right? Adam Cole's hurt. And I could get into that whole devil thing, and it hasn't played out and panned out the way I think they were hoping. It hasn't panned out the way a lot of fans were hoping. I think it mainly has to do with because both MJF's hurt and that Adam Cole's hurt. So 2 of your top guys are out. Joe is phenomenal. Samoa Joe is amazing. But then after Joe, where does it really go? I mean, Swerve and Hangman, not bad. I mean, that's great. All right, I love both those guys. But I feel like AEW still needs some more top-level superstars here or wrestlers here. So you automatically, Okada will fall into that, and so will Ospreay as well. The guys of the Black Bull Combat Club, they can be top guys. Moxley has done it before. It's just I don't really understand the direction the Combat Club's going in, honestly. I feel like they should be... Each guy should be bigger than what has been going on. I mean, Claudio kind of just gets lost there, and a lot of people wanted Claudio to break out of his... I was one of the guys that wanted him to go to AEW. You know, I thought AEW would have put him as a top champion. Hasn't happened, and I actually don't think it's going to happen for Claudio. So at this point, I would be cool if Cesaro just went back to WWE. You're basically doing the same thing in AEW, to a degree, right? I mean, the only reason why I wanted him to go to AEW is because I thought he would break out and reach that top level, and then eventually make his way back to WWE as a top level guy, kind of like the way Cody did it, but just hasn't worked that way. So. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them, but it doesn't look like they want to have them in the main event as main event stars. So you're going to have to add to that. Ospreay and Okada definitely adds to that. So Tony Khan could maybe do Mone and have Mone and Okada debut on the same night. But the more I'm thinking about it, if Ospreay is going to be a good guy and he's going to show up at Revolution, he's going to face Takeshita, and he kind of turns on Callis and kind of swerves him a little bit and kind of shows that he's not going to be in the family. Maybe that's where you have Okada show up, and you can have Okada and Takeshita be like a tag team. It's not really making him a top star, but it's a good way to introduce him. It would be kind of cool to see that. I wouldn't be against it, but interesting. AEW's finally got some stuff here, because for me, AEW has cooled off big time. I haven't really been interested in AEW as much lately in the past couple of months. I've watched here and there. I've honestly even not watched a couple episodes because I was just like, they're not doing it for me lately. So this would definitely rejuvenate my interest in the product. And it's just partly because WWE is just on fire right now. I can't help but watch and be so, like, I can't wait to watch WWE shows. Like SmackDown. This is going to be releasing today on Thursday. SmackDown tomorrow night on Friday. I can't wait to watch that. I have to watch that. Speaking of that, I'm going to have another video tomorrow. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and The Rock stuff. I also want to... I don't know if I'm going to make a separate video or if I'm going to make one included in that one about Damian Priest and what the plan is for that briefcase, but the window is getting smaller for Priest, and the likelihood, I don't know. But we'll touch on that in another video. But can't wait for that show. Mercedes Mone, it seems like, is going to AEW. I think a lot of people would be a lot of shocked and disappointed if she ended up not going there and that whole thing was for something else. It can't be for anyone else. It has to be for her, right? You can't spell Bosstown like that, or Boston, and her not be there. So, happy for her. It's really cool. I was kind of interested to see if she'd go back to WWE, because WWE's on, like I said, they're on fire right now. So, I don't know what's going on in my throat, but I'm interested to see what Mone does, how she gets booked. AEW needs to do something with the way they're booking people and the way they're not elevating people they should. But AEW's women's roster is definitely coming around, because I remember it started out and it wasn't great. But you got options now, and you still have Jamie Hayter to return. You got Britt Baker to return. They got options. It's looking good for AEW's women's roster for sure. You guys let me know what you think. Are you excited to watch this show? Big Business on AEW, March 13th. Are you going to watch? Are you even going to the show? If you're going to the show, comment it. If anybody lives in Boston or lives in North Carolina, definitely comment. That'd be awesome. It'd be cool to see somebody in here that, I've lived in both places. That's kind of cool too. Should be fun. And if I don't talk to you guys before the weekend, which I'm sure I will, I want you to have a great rest of your Thursday, a great Friday, and we'll reconnect next week if I don't put anything up before then. But I already got a couple of videos in mind that I'm definitely going to put something out. So definitely turn the notifications on if you haven't. And if you're somebody who's watching this for the first time and you're not subscribed, I would definitely appreciate a follow or a subscription here for this channel. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not asking for any kind of money at all. But if you subscribe to this channel, if you comment on it, if you like it, if you share it, it does huge for this channel. And it also gets me closer to the goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers, which is definitely a goal I have in my mind, hopefully before the year's done. I know the year is early. We're only in February, but YouTube can be tricky. It can be hard to get people to be on board with your stuff. So if I can get to 1,000 people before the year is up, huge success for me. I'm happy to do these videos. I'm glad to talk to you guys. I'm even happier to hear from you guys when you comment and when you email. So definitely keep doing that. I love hearing from you. And enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys on the next video.